If you wanted a chili flavored cake, that's fine.
Oh wow, okay, chili flavored cake. Take that. So what I'm hearing is more like progress over perfection.
100%.
The best way to do anything is to actually start.
Yeah,
Start.
yeah,
Awesome.
100%.
Great.
Yeah.
Hello guys, welcome to How I Started. This is the show that's going to bring you stories about entrepreneurs that's walking our daily life and people like us and how they've started from 0 to 1. And today we have two budding entrepreneurs in the food industry space that have walked the talk, and let's listen to how they've started and how they went from 0 to 1, and let's hear them introduce themselves.
Hi, this is Swetha. So during the day, I am IT professional who's currently on mat break, so I'm just enjoying my little one right now. And during the evenings and weekends, it's our food business that keeps us going.
That's awesome.
Hey everyone, I'm Lata. Same, I'm also an IT professional during the day, and with my best friend here during the weekends and the evenings, we spend time having fun in the food business.
Okay, now that we kind of know a little bit, let's dive a little bit deeper. But before that, I had an interesting question. Maybe it's interesting for the audiences too to understand how this all happened. What was the spark that happened because of which you started this? And what's the name of your business?
Okay, what was the spark? Actually, I should say I was born out of boredom during COVID. We were both in lockdown. The whole world was in lockdown, and we were trying different recipes at home. We were we don't have moms at that time able to send couriers of spice powders and things like that. So that's when we were exploring and trying to incorporate their recipes into our daily lives. And then we were just having casual conversations, thinking maybe should we do this as a business.
Yeah, so that's where it all started. We were just contemplating on all the spice powders that we make at home, the sambar powder or rasam powder, whatever we make at home. It would be a nice idea if we were able to share that with everybody, like the authentic homemade ones and not the commercial ones that we get at the store. So that's where it all started. And then we started just looking into more options on how we could do this, how we could promote and things like that. And it was just like an instant decision that we made. So we didn't do too much of homework or groundwork or background before that. So we just started off, and it kind of helped us move along.
I think it was actually 5 years ago, right? April 15th was when we did the first photo
4 years
and
ago.
We thought about, that's on April 14th, which is our common New Year's Day. We decided okay, maybe we should just launch it on a good note.
Okay.
4 years ago, 21 is when we started.
Okay,
4 years.
that's not bad. So 2021 you started, and it's just about 4 years. And you've already kind of made this into a kind of a sustainable business, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask you certain questions deep down in this interview, which is also going to help the viewers to understand where this all started. How did you take this first step? But before we begin there, I wanted to understand, was this your idea or your idea, just one night you had this idea, okay, let's start some business, and then you call the other person to say, hey, are you on board? Whose idea was it? And how did that initial formulation happen? How did you even have the guts or the, I would say, initiation to go from thought process to action?
I think it was just a conversation,
Oh,
right?
yes.
We were just casually talking, and we've always wanted to do something other than our day jobs, which is being IT professionals, and we kind of have been talking about we should explore something, we should do something else, and then I think it was just
The right time to start, and when people were all at home and missing home food and things like that. So we thought that's the right time to start. And as I said, there was not too much homework that we did.
Okay.
It was we thought we'll start, and we just started.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, we just had to start
somewhere,
and then
so-
That's
we
good.
didn't put limits or barriers to anything. We just wanted to get started with something.
So what I'm hearing is more like progress over perfection. The
100%.
best way to do anything is to actually start.
Start.
Awesome.
100%.
Great.
Yeah.
So let's get a little bit more into understanding the personality of you, because that also helps the viewers to understand what kind of personality it takes to start. So, who's the messier one in the kitchen?
Both of us
Both of
equally.
us
So
are.
while at work, both of us are equally messy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But we're equally neat freaks too, right? Like, so we make the mess and we clean it up. Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
good. And then when you started this, talk to me about how did you actually formulate your operating procedure? Did you just eyeball something and then say, hey, you know what, let's experiment eyeball and like come out with a golden product? Or was it like a lot of trial and error?
Oh, we did do a lot of trial and error. So we had some recipes like that we got back home from, and with a lot of other inputs that we got. So we did do a lot of trial and error basis. That's how we came up with one recipe. And yes, and that's what we've been following.
Tailoring to, I think,
Yes.
like ultimately we have to like what we market to
Yes.
other people, right? So we've always tailored the recipes that we've had passed on, maybe even from generations. But like today, maybe we like it, customized a little bit differently. So that's kind of how we've made our recipes.
So if you could actually tell me there are two products that your customers always come back to you out of like the hundreds of products that you actually make, what will the top two products be?
I think bundi laddu and Mysore pak.
Yeah,
That's our
signature
dishes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Oh, after the interview, I hope you take some Mysore pak.
Of course,
For sure.
Of course, yeah.
So let's get to the hustle part of like where you actually are doing this on an every week basis. I'm thinking like even sometimes you'll have to like spend your evenings
Yeah.
after your work.
Yeah.
What's the most annoying part of the work, which you thought probably say like, do you fight over the last scoop of flour or who's going to like turn on the dishes? What's like something that is annoying that you think could be avoided in the business?
To be honest, like we've never felt anything annoying
Yeah,
because we enjoy doing it together. That's the whole point of it.
Yeah.
And so there's nothing annoying or the dishes. We just help each other out, and our end goal is to have
I
everything
think
done.
it's just, we actually like and love spending time with each other.
It's our personality.
Yeah. Instead of spending hours on the phone talking to each other, we get to do stuff like, being in either one of our houses or, making amazing dishes. So, that's just the fun part.
So how well in the history have you known each other like for before you decided to kind of like, take this friendship to a business?
Over a decade now.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's great. So it's there are a lot of stories that we've seen where like good friends have started business and it's like flown high, and I think this could be one of the other examples that we have.
We hope so, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so another question that we always ask in our interviews is, have you guys ever had a full-blown I quit moment? Like this is something that we've started like out of haste. We kind of like don't want to go. I quit. It's too much for me. Did you have any moment like that? And how did you endure that moment to kind of continue?
So we've not had that, but we've had our own challenges in getting the recipes out and having the perfect texture, taste, and all that. So yes, we've had like a lot of challenges that way.
100%.
Yes.
I think we are perfectionists when it comes to taste. We want it to taste, we want to love what we give others. So in that process, of course, we come
It's
across
something-
some difficulties, but I think we've conquered most of them. It's not an I quit moment, but maybe just pull your hair a little moments. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now let's come to the food part of it, where we already know that Mysore pak and bundi laddu are your two top most favorite and hit foods.
Yeah.
And apart from the others, you have other products as well. Any weird customer requests that made you two just stare at each other and was like, why are they even asking us this? And did you decide to go forward and make it for them to satisfy the customer? Or how did you handle that moment?
Yes, we've had such moments. We've had like weird requests on cakes and other things. So people are very particular on what goes into the cake, what type of cake they want, and things like that. And yes, we have catered to them. We have made sure that it's up to their liking, and whatever they've asked for, we've ensured that they get what they asked for. So yes, also we've had.
I think there are also some times where there are some scenarios where people have requested which is beyond our business model itself. That we've also kind of had to deny, like we had to stick to our policies as well. So that has happened as well. Yeah.
Okay.
But of course, like most of the time, we try to meet the customer's needs. So I think we had to explore like vegan cakes, like we had an order where the family, I think they had kids who had for food reasons had to be vegan. So
vegan.
And also no sugar, like no added sugar. So that was a real, it was a fun challenge. Like it made our head spin a little, but I think we did them happy. So yeah.
Okay, that's good. So since you're talking about like your head spun a little, service business, as we all know, is a business that needs to satisfy the client, and client is always the king.
Yes.
And I'm sure in that you've also had a lot of dramas. So tell me about the moment where you had a challenging customer and how did you really handle that moment? And what is your advice, since you've been in this business for so many years, to somebody who is starting and who is afraid of actually handling a challenging or a difficult customer?
Yeah, so challenging customers, we've had customers who have insisted that, we do door delivery and things like that, which we have really not taken as part of our business model. But yes, we did cater to them, like we did agree, and there were quite a bit of challenges, in coordinating with them, getting things delivered to them on a weekly basis and things like that. So I would like, my suggestion to anybody starting new, I would say, maybe to venture more out, because for us it did take us a while to understand the business model, because we just started off and then we were doing our learning process. So for anybody who wants to start, they can look at options on how they want to if they have any delivery options, yes, no, whatever they want to put, and stick to that. And yes,
I think it was because, like you said, it was progress over perfection. I think we, like she said, we were figuring it out as we went. So, this was something we did cater for a while, and then, we were figuring out costs for delivery and so many other things as well. So, maybe they can, when you start off, you should have those things figured out. Like it could have made your life a little
much
bit
easier.
Yeah.
Now that we're talking about this, have you had a situation where you thought going online and having more of an online presence will help you? Is it something that you're thinking about in the future?
We do have like our Insta handles, and we are again, like we're novice as well, like we're still figuring out that space. But I think we've got quite a few orders. People have looked at our Instagram pages and Facebook pages and have placed orders. But it's a space that we are also exploring.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay. So, I'll be honest, like I'm sure the viewers are seeing me peeping into this paper of questions. Our team put these questions together, and sometimes I laugh at these questions, but here's another one. It's about future dreams. So if you woke up tomorrow and the business is 10 times bigger, let's assume it's 100 times bigger, right? What's the first ridiculous thing you'll do? Say, I'll just go ahead and buy like a fully gold-plated mixer for my cakes. What's something that you will do that doesn't really make any business sense?
I think I would call her and maybe we'll just be like, what? Is this really happening? I don't know. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. I don't know if I'll make like a ridiculous purchase or anything, but I'll make her a phone call and we'll probably be laughing that, hey, is this really happening?
That's good. And that kind of tells me that you guys are very interconnected and you have talked to each other whenever you have to make something important business decisions, even in funny business decisions. So
anything and everything.
Yeah, exactly.
We had certain requests from our viewers, and we wanted to kind of also understand there are moments when entrepreneurs start and then they actually do trial and error, like similar to you guys, what you did. What's something that you tried that totally bombed and you said, you know what, this is not something that we want to kind of continue, and this is just kind of like waste of my time. And what kind of thought process did you have before you made the decision to say that, hey, maybe we are better off concentrating in the other 100 products and leave this product so that our time is better used for the clients and for the return on investment?
Our key USP, I would say, is whatever we make, we're very authentic, homemade. So I wouldn't give anything to a customer that I cannot eat or I cannot consume. Or I think, oh, it's not healthy or it's not what I would eat. I would never offer that to a customer. So whatever we make, it's everything. It's like all ingredients we buy fresh from scratch. Everything is made from scratch. So we don't like stock up, store or do anything. So if there's an order, we always make it fresh. So with that being said, with dosa batters and everything, because again, as we said, we are a small scale home-based business. So we haven't established that commercial unit yet. So making dosa batter on a large scale became challenging at one point. So that was something I think we gave up after a certain point.
Got it.
Even if you're making it for like a small, like
it
one
doesn't make
person
sense
asks
to,
for,
yes.
you still have to, because we have the wet grinders at home, you still need like a minimum quantity that we had to do. So, it was either that we had too much batter left over at home and, we had problems at home. Nobody wanted, we got tired of eating dosas, or, that was kind of the, logic behind, like we thought maybe it's not really working out for now. It's not, we're not given up on it, but I think for now, given our setup, probably, it's not something we're considering.
Right. Okay. That's a good one. Another thing we wanted to understand for the benefit of our viewers is any business, for it to grow, should reinvent themselves looking back at what they've done and where the future is taking them or needs to take them. So from that perspective, how did you look back at what you've done and reinvent your menus? What's the process that you guys have to understand what is that you need to add into your menu that will create business for you?
I think if we talk about cakes as well, like we always, we focus on the fillings that goes into our cakes. Like we really like, and I think in the recent times we've noticed like people generally like just enough sweet on their cakes and not the too sweet kind. So we've customized it, again, I think we primarily focus also on, what we and our friends around us, like what do they enjoy. So, we think that that's kind of the general public, idea behind this thing. And like they also, we explore like different cake flavors. I think that's something that we try to keep up, like try to be different from like a standard bakery would have like some standard fillings on them, but like, because we are a home baker, like you can request any bizarre flavor. I mean, we will of course try it, and if we find it too bizarre, for sure we'll tell our customers that, hey, are you sure? But you can ask us whatever you want, like if you wanted a chili flavored cake, that's fine.
Oh wow, okay, chili flavored cake, take that.